Boys and girls, today you're going to learn how to do something called printing. You'll be creating your own printing tool to create prints of hearts. You'll also be learning how to use lines, shapes, and color, some of the elements of art, to create and draw your very own Valentine's animals. We will use those to collage to our heart prints. Today we'll be using Faber-Castell oil pastels to create our masterpieces. In this video, you're going to learn how to draw a panda. In other videos on this channel, you'll learn how to draw a fox, a dog, and a bunny. So let's get started with our printed heart Valentine animals. Today we're going to do something called printing. Printing is when you press something down and you pick it back up. What's left behind is called a print. To make our prints today, we're going to use a piece of what's called tag board, or you could even use poster board, as long as whatever you have is a little bit thick. So I have cut my piece of paper until it was about 2 inches by 8 inches, and I'm going to make this into a heart shape. To do that, the first thing you'll have to do is take your paper that's 2 inches by 8 inches and fold it in half. Once you've got it folded in half, you'll have the letter V. This is the bottom of your heart. To make the top of your heart, all you do is you bend in the top, both sides, until it looks almost like the letter M. It might help to have a friend pinch this for you to hold it in place. Now you've got a heart shape. To get it to stay put, though, I think it's best to get a stapler. If you don't have a stapler, you could try using glue or tape. I'm going to staple it there once, flip it back around, and use the other side. And now I have a heart that's all set for printing. Now that I've got my heart made, I'm going to dip it in the paint. And all I have to do is take the heart and just kind of tap it around a little bit in the paint. That'll help pick it up. And when I make my print, I set my heart down gently. I don't move it around, and I'm going to press on it very gently. You don't have to press hard. And then lift it back up, and you have a print. Now, if your print is missing a little spot, that's okay. Just keep going. So I'm going to keep printing. When you print your hearts, think about how you might want to print them. Do you want to print them in rows that are horizontal? Do you want to print them in rows that are vertical? Do you want to create a random pattern where you just print your hearts any old place? It's totally up to you how you do your print. You might even discover that when you're printing, you can create new designs. I could make this heart and this heart do the opposite, which makes it look a little bit like a butterfly. And maybe I could have this heart be right there, and this one right here, which kind of creates a flower. It's totally up to you. You can print on your paper any way you want to. Have fun printing. Let's learn how to draw some fun animals to add to our printed hearts. We will be reviewing or talking a lot about lines and shapes. We'll also be learning how to use oil pastels to mix and create new colors. So first I'm going to find my black oil pastel, and I'm going to be learning how to draw a panda using lines and shapes. So the first shape I'm going to create is the same one that I printed. You guessed it, I'm making a heart. My first job, though, is to find the middle of my paper. Boop. And once I've got the middle of my paper, I'm going to have my hand go up just a little bit and stop. Now I'm going to make a heart. So I know from printing, I'm going to put my oil pastel down, that a heart has 2 bumps. And I'm going to practice drawing that with my finger. You probably should too. It has 1, 2. The top of a heart has 2 bumps or 2 arched lines. 1, 2. This heart shape, I'm going to use it for an eye for my panda. And I know the pandas have 2 eyes, which means I'm going to be making 2 hearts. That's why I'm not making my heart very big. I feel like my hand knows how to make those 2 bumps. So now that my hand knows how to do that, my hand can now use the oil pastel to do the same. So I'm going to make my 1 arched line or bump. And then I'm going to make another one. And now I have what looks like a flying bird. It will be the top of my heart. Now, to make the bottom of a heart, what I like to do is make the letter V. And notice when I do this, I'm not going to put my finger on my paper. It might cause my oil pastel to smear. Watch what my finger does. It's going to go down and then come back up, making the letter V. Down with a diagonal line, up with a diagonal line. Once you feel like your finger knows how to do that, have your finger tell your hand how to draw that V with the oil pastel. So I'm starting here, going down, coming back up. And notice my extra hand is holding my paper nice and still for me. I have just made a heart. Now listen, I've had lots of practice making hearts. If your heart isn't what you think is perfect, I want you not to worry about that. I don't want your heart to be perfect. I want it to be the heart that you drew. If I'd wanted it to be perfect, well, then I would have just had you trace a heart. Now that we've got one done, let's draw another one over here. And if you're not happy with this, we can always consider this one practice and try it again later. All right, so I know that this will be 1 heart-shaped eye for my panda, and I have just enough room to make another one here, and I'm doing it the same. I'm going to try to make it the same size. That can be a little tricky, but I'll try my best. So let's see. The first step was 2 bumps. 1, 2. If I get too close, I'll bump into this one. So let me try that again. All right, that looks a little small, so keep practicing until you feel like your finger knows exactly what to do, and I'll try my very best to make it like the other one. And if it's not, that's okay. All right, now I know that I need to make that letter V, so I'm going to go down and then come back up. Piece of cake. All right, now that I have that finished, what I'm going to do are turn these into the eyes for my panda. So my first step is to make a horizontal line. That's a line that looks like it's sleeping. So I'm going to draw a horizontal line through the middle of my heart. 1 there and 1 right there. Now what I'm going to do is make another arched line, a big one this time. I'm going to go up, over, down. Start at one end of my line, up, over, and down. Now I'm going to color my hearts with black. And I'm only coloring the top and the bottom. The new shape that I have just created, which almost looks like half of a circle, this new shape that I just created, I am leaving white. Notice I'm going slowly and carefully. I'm trying to stay within the lines of my heart shape, and I don't want to accidentally color in that half circle shape. So I'm going slowly and carefully to do my best. Piece of cake. You just drew 2 hearts and 2 half circles. We've got 2 eyes now for our panda. Let's give our panda a nose. For the nose, we're going to be making a square right in between the 2 hearts. So I'm going to make a square right here. Doot, 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 doot. Now my square is going to be black, so I'm going to color it in slowly and carefully. Piece of cake, friends. The hardest part that we just did was probably those eyes. And look at us. We nailed it. Now we're ready for the mouth. I want my panda to be happy, so I'm going to make a curved line that goes like this. And now I'm going to make his smile even bigger like this. And I can color that in. We use lots of arched lines. I'm going to count how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 arched lines. 2 hearts, 2 half circles, 1 square. This arched line to me, if I turn it, looks like it could also be a crescent shape. Now I want to show you a really cool trick. I'm going to go ahead and put away my black for just a moment, and I'm getting out 2 colors. I'm getting out red and white. I don't have pink in my tray of oil pastels, but I don't need it because I can make it. I'm going to give my panda some pink cheeks. So I could draw big cheeks here using a circle, or I could make little cheeks here. That's up to you where you place your cheeks. I think I'll put mine here. Your panda might be a little bit different. You might want to put your cheeks right here. That's up to you. I think I'm going to put one right here that's a red circle, and one right here that's a red circle that I colored in. Now I want to make this color light. When you make a color light, it's called a tint. How do you make a color light? You gotta have white. Ooh, look at my white. It's all dirty. If that happens to you, just clean it off on the paper or on the back of your piece of paper. Don't clean it off on your artwork. All right, I'm gonna gently color over my circle until I get pink. Remember, if you have oil pastel crumbs, blow them off. Do not wipe them because, as you know, your artwork will smear. Oh, look, I've got pink. I used white, I made a color light, and now I have a tint. And a tint of red, or a light red, is called pink. Now I have this really awesome face for my panda, but I need to create the outline of the face. So for that, I'm going back to using my black oil pastel. I'm going to make a big arch line so that I know where my arch line begins and ends. I'm going to put a little polka dot here next to this heart, boop, and then a little polka dot right there next to this heart, boop. And now I'm going to make an arch line. I'm going to practice with my finger going down, around to the chinny chin chin, and right back up. Down, around the chinny chin chin, and right back up. All right, let me give that a shot. Down, around the chinny chin chin, and right back up. Piece of cake. Now what I'm ready to do are to create the ears, but my panda's missing the top of his or her head. So maybe I should make another line that connects those two. If I make this line get too tall, I won't have enough room for his or her ears. So I'm practicing with my finger. It's always good to do a little bit of air drawing before you try it, especially since you cannot erase oil pastels. All right. Now, if you wanted to, you could add some eyelashes to your panda. You don't have to if you don't want to. You are the artist. You get to decide. All right, let's talk about the ears. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another set of arched lines. This one is going to go up, over, and down for an ear. Up, over, and down for an ear. Nice and big. Well, I want the other one to be about the same, so I'll practice a couple of times. That looks pretty good to me. Up, over, and down. Done. Now, I think I'll use my red and white again because I'm going to give my panda a little bit of pink inside the ear. So I'm going to make a smaller arch in here with red. Color it a little bit. Smaller arch in here with red. Color it a little bit. To make a color light, you must have white. When you make a color light, it is called a tint. You got it. All right, I'm blending those colors in to get a nice pink. My panda is looking really amazing, and it's almost finished. From here, we're just going to give our panda a nice, beautiful bow and be done with it until it's ready to be cut out and glued to our heart background. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and color the ears because I know that pandas are black and white. If you mixed black and white together, you would be creating a tint, because as you guys know, when you use white to make a color light, you make a tint. But I wonder what tint it would be. Do you know? If you mix black and white together, what would you get? If you said gray, you would be correct, because that's exactly right. All right, now, Panda complete and looking fabulous. But one last thing I want to add is a bow to the bottom. So I'm going to be using my red, and I'm going to draw a circle right underneath the chinny chin chin. Now I could leave this red, but I really love creating that pink. So I'm just blending my pink and red together. Now that looks like a dot. To make it into a bow, I'm going to make a diagonal line or a slanted line that goes up. I'll do the same thing on the other side, a diagonal line that goes up. This time on the other side, I'm going to make a diagonal line that goes down. And another diagonal line that goes down. And I'm going to connect them with a curved or an arched line. I'm going to color this in. And make it light by adding some, yepers, you guessed her, adding some white. Now my panda is just about complete. The only other thing I'm going to do to my panda is I'm going to be adding a little bit of an outline to this bow tie and maybe some patterns. You don't have to do that. That's up to you. I'm going to outline my bow tie like this. Outline means you're going around the outer edges of things. So I'm just going around the outside or the outer edges of the bow shape. A bow sticks out. So from here to there, I'm going to create a curved line. And that gives the illusion or the idea that the bow is sticking out. I could draw stripes and create a pattern. I really like polka dots. You could do stripes, you could do lines, zigzags. It's up to you. I'm doing polka dots. Now I know how to draw a panda using lines. I know how to create light colors by using white. And now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to draw even more animals. Now that I have all these fun animals that I know how to draw and my print is dry, I can add these to my heart printed paper. So I think I'll start with my guy right here. All you're going to do is cut around your animal. When I cut, I'm not going to cut right on the black line. I'm cutting a little bit beside the black line. This will leave a little bit of a white outline. I'm cutting very slowly and carefully. And look at my scissor hand. It is never moving. The hand that does all the moving and steering of the paper is my extra hand. So notice my scissors, they always face one direction. But my helper hand moves the paper for me. Sometimes I like to snip some of that extra paper off and I'll recycle it, and that'll make it so it's out of the way. So very slowly and carefully, using my extra hand to help me, cutting around. I don't want to accidentally cut anything off. I don't want to cut off an ear or a really cute bow tie. I work so hard on my artwork. So I'm going to go slowly and carefully around those edges. Get rid of some of that extra paper. And finished. Boys and girls, now I'm ready to glue it onto my print. When you're gluing, glue goes around the edges. Glue goes around the edges. And you know we usually paint glue on. But if you were going to use a glue bottle, glue is only going to go around the edges. And sometimes it seems like, you've got to take some of that dried glue off the top of the glue bottle. Let's make sure it can breathe. Yep, it's breathing all right. Okay, I'm not right close to the edge. I'm close to it, but not on it. I don't want it to squish out when I put it down. All right. Flip it over like a pancake. Think I'll angle it a little bit. There we go. Now, when I've got it in place, I don't want to rub the front. It'll cause my oil pastel to smear. So I will massage the back. Oh, puppy dog likey. Flip it back around and voila. Masterpiece complete. Don't forget to sign your fabulous artwork when you're finished. Have so much fun printing and drawing super amazing Valentine's animals, guys.